Every character has energy within flowing out, and it produces action, right? Just like you, just like me. How do we discover the energy in the character? I'm about to tell you, so stay tuned and stay with me. Discovering the character's energy in you. Picture this. Lying in a tomb, waiting for you to resurrect them, is your character. They lie in state, waiting for you to breathe life into their nostrils, the breath of life. Great actors know how to do this. That's why they're great. But how do you figure this out? How do you take your own life's energy and share it with a character that you don't even know? How do you do that? Is it magic? No, it's not. In fact, I'm going to give you 5 human elements. That's what I call them. 5 human elements that every character has, and that you have as well. And we apply it every single day of our lives subconsciously. It's only when we take these 5 human elements and we consciously apply them to our everyday lives, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. Okay? So I'm about to give you these, and I want you to listen, and I want you to pay attention and turn on your conscious mind, turn off everything else that's around you, okay? For these few minutes, I want you to learn this. Okay? All right, good. So, the first human element that we all possess, that we all experience every single day of our lives in everything we do is we produce a result. That's right. We produce a result. Everything has a result from our actions, right? Just like a character in a movie. Let's do this. Let's take a jumping off point, okay, so we can have a reference for a character. The Pursuit of Happiness by starring Will Smith. Now, before we go into it, Will Smith, everybody makes mistakes, okay? I'm in his corner. It's easy. It's so easy, isn't it, to pick on other people that are out in the limelight, okay, so we can feel better about ourselves. Okay, so we have something to talk about because our lives are sometimes perspectively so boring, okay, or we haven't achieved what we want to achieve. Okay, don't pick on people, all right? Everybody makes mistakes and they learn from them. It's the way it is. You, me, everybody. So, anyway, this movie, Pursuit of Happiness, starring Will Smith. This movie is based upon a true story. I'm going to read a little bit of the synopsis, okay? So stay with me here. During this time in this movie, it's based upon a true story about a gentleman by the name of Gardner, and he is a salesman, a door-to-door salesman, selling a device called the bone scanner, and it's a medical device, all right? All he wants to do is pursue the happiness for his family, for his wife, for his boy, okay? Who, by the way, is played by his real son, and his name is Happy. Pursuit of Happiness. But here's what's happening right now. During his hard work and trying to make ends meet, he loses his wife. His wife leaves him. He loses his apartment. He becomes homeless. He's forced to live out in the streets. And he takes an unpaid internship as a stockbroker in New York City. For 6 months, he's unpaid. This gets really dicey. Before he can even receive a paid position as a stockbroker, he needs to sell his devices to stay afloat. And mind you, he's homeless. It's him and his son. I can't even imagine that. How would you give up? Would you put him up for adoption? Would you drink yourself like a fish? Would you take drugs? What would you do? Seriously, it's a fantastic movie, and I highly recommend that you watch it. You'll learn a lot. So, back to the result. Mr. Gardner's results every day was sometimes struggling. Sometimes it was not eating. Sometimes it was stealing food just to stay alive. There's a lot of results that he received until he received what he really wanted at the end. Okay? In your life, have you ever pursued something and you couldn't even see the end result? I mean, you knew it, okay? You knew what you wanted, but it just seemed so hopeless. That's what he was going through. And you're going to run across many different characters that you would want to play. You pick up the script. Life doesn't have a script. And I'm so grateful that a character does. You pick up a script and you read it. Not once, not twice, 3 times or more. Why is that? I'll tell you right now. If you want to locate the energy in a character, you need to know about the character. You need to know their ups and downs and turnarounds and how they relate to people and their expectations and everything that makes them a human, okay? Because they're written by a human. So what is your end result? What is the end result of your character? That's the first thing that you want to figure out, okay? So you can locate their energy, their source, their insides, why they are, and this is number 2 of the human element, why they are focused. That's number 2 of the human element. Why they are focused on this end result. Why are they focused on the end result? Because that's what they want. I refer quite often to playing pool, billiards. Okay, when I shoot with my cue stick, the ball. Okay, I focus on that and only that, because the end result is I want it in that side pocket or corner pocket, right? And professionals even do this, and you should anyway if you're not a professional billiard player. You say, right corner pocket. Why do you do that? Not just because you're supposed to, but because it trains you, that's your script, it trains you and it helps you to, your words help you to focus on the corner pocket. Okay? You're directing yourself to the end result through focusing. Right? When Mr. Gardner in the movie, when he focused on pursuing only one corner pocket of selling this medical device, that's the only thing that he was focused on. It's the only thing he was focused on for his son, for himself. Okay? He didn't give up. He didn't say, "Oh shoot, I didn't get it in the pocket. I guess that's all." Many actors do that, and that's why they don't become great. Because they give up too easy. They get frustrated because they lose their focus. They become unfocused and bleary-eyed, okay, and tired, and they don't see the result that they once wanted. Life is acting, acting is life. Now, number 3 of the human element is this. This is big. Expectation. Expectation. In the movie, Mr. Gardner always wanted the best. So he expected the best, even though he was tired and hungry. And he had to take his son, and he couldn't shower many times. He had to get, it gets me right here. He had to go in a public bath and wash up, because he kept his eyes focused on the result, and his expectations were great, even though he was knocked down so many other times. Nose, and doors slammed in his face and everything. But that's what actors do, right? Right? We continue to audition, going in front of people with giving our best as best as we are right now, because we always improve, right? Okay. Always learn and grow. But every character has an expectation, just like you have expectations in your lifetime, okay? And you have to address those expectations. And in a script, your energy is in your expectation. That's your hope. That's your emotion. That's what moves you. Emotion, right? Yeah. Okay. So you have to ask yourself about a character. What are their expectations in this scene? You have scenes in your life too, right? You go to the gym and you have an expectation of doing really well. And then guess what? You do really well. Why is that? Because you have the faith to do it, the hope to do it, the focus to do it, and you want a particular result. A trainer or a coach helps a lot too, right? Yeah. So we have, let's go over it once again. We have the result, which is mental, by the way. We have the focus, which is mental as well. And we have the expectation, which is emotional. Okay? That's what moves us to focus on the result. Now, the next two are phenomenal. The next two are where the energy lies. Okay? Lies in state, in the character and in you. These are good. This is what catapults you, okay, into focusing on the result and breathing life and breathing energy into the character with high expectation. So, here it goes. Number 4, the human element, is why. Why? Yeah, that's what I said, why. W-H-Y. Everything in life is a question, isn't it? Yes, it is. When you go to look at a script and you're reading about your character and how he or she relates to other characters, you have to ask yourself, and it just comes, isn't it? Why? Why are they doing this? Why? What I like to do many times is refer to real life, if you were in a burning building or a burning home, a burning house, okay, and you had to save your life, okay, would you sit back and say, now listen, I just take a moment here, what can I take? Should I take my favorite book or my coffee cup or my photographs, No! You're out of there, right? Your why is big enough for action, to take immediate, evasive action, plan a strategy. Which brings us to number 5 of the human element of how to discover the energy for your character and you. And here it is. How? The bigger and more significant your why, the easier it is to find out how, which is your strategy. Okay? Strategic. How you accomplish and get the end result that you want and keep your expectations high and your focus. The bigger your why, the easier your how. I don't want you to forget that. Pursuit of happiness, once again. His why was strong. His expectations fluctuated, but his why kept him above the water from sinking down too far to where he would just give up his dream. See how acting is life, life is acting? If you approach it properly, and your casting director, the person that whoever is you're auditioning for will see your intensity and your focus and your expectation, your emotion, how you relate to the character, and why and how. It's going to take practice, okay? I'm still practicing. I've done this for 30 plus years. And I got to tell you, sometimes it's hard to pursue your happiness. It really is. But you grow through that. You have to go through it in order to grow. Sort of like a tree that's planted, deep in the soil, right? The sapling pushes through to get to the light, okay? And from there on, it's a little bit easier, So yeah, I want us to go over, one more thing. This is very good, and I want you to think about this, okay? I love history, especially the history of the Wright brothers, the two brothers that discovered flight. Okay? All right. So here it is. The Wright brothers didn't know how their plane would get off the ground until it was up in the air. That's deep. Think about this again. I'm going to read it again. The Wright brothers didn't know how their plane would get off the ground until it was up in the air. So if you don't try, you can ask why, but if you don't try, you're not going to know how. Okay? I want you to think about that today. Actor, it's funny, but the first three letters are ACT, act. You act. You don't just think. You don't just study. You get your plane off the ground, and if it falls, you repair it, and you get it up there again until you get the result that you want. Okay? So, listen. If you need a coach, I can coach you. Visit me at davidthompsoncoaching.co, davidthompsoncoaching.co, and we can set up a 45-minute free consultation. I've helped hundreds of actors and actresses get their start, and they're continuing on. Many of them are in commercials and films, and it's really exciting. Please, subscribe to this channel and like it and share it, please. I would deeply appreciate it. I hope you like this. Leave the comments below, okay? And check out the other couple other YouTube channels that I have. One is about me, the other is about interviewing actors. I'll just put it that way. So check it out. All right, I've got to go. But God bless. Enjoy your day and find the energy in you so you can share it with characters, and then you can share it with the world. God bless.